From out here, it doesn't look like much of a garden. Mostly leaves. If you walked past this place without knowing what was underneath, you might think I simply let the vines get a little out of control. And maybe I did. But underneath all of this green is another garden. A garden you cannot really see until you step inside. When I first built this structure, I wasn't trying to make anything impressive. I wanted somewhere I could work out of the strongest sun, somewhere a few plants could stay in softer light, and somewhere the vines themselves could become useful for more than fruit. So I started with bamboo. Nothing fancy, just a long framework strong enough to carry the vines as they became heavier every year. At first, there was nothing hidden about it. You could stand outside and see straight through the entire structure. Then the plants began doing most of the work. Every season the vines reached farther. They wrapped around the bamboo, crossed over one another and slowly filled the spaces above my head. After enough time, the structure almost disappeared. From above, you can still understand how large it really is. The vines form one long green roof, from the entrance all the way to the other end. But from ground level, most of that disappears. You mostly see an opening in the leaves. And that is the part I like. A hidden garden should make you curious about what is inside. The first few steps always feel different. Outside, the garden is bright and open. Then you pass underneath the vines and the light suddenly becomes softer. Small pieces of sunlight come through the leaves and move across the soil. The bamboo is still everywhere, but it no longer feels separate from the plants. The vines have climbed through the walls and across the roof until the whole place feels almost alive. Near the entrance, I keep a simple wooden bench. There are a few old pots there, small containers, and whatever I happen to be working with. It isn't decoration. I actually use it. I think a garden becomes more believable when there is a little dirt on the table. Once you walk past that bench, the space starts opening up. That is the part you cannot understand from outside. This isn't simply a narrow path underneath some vines. There is enough room to walk comfortably, stop, move plants around, and spend time here. I keep the middle mostly open. The stepping stones give me a path through the soil, while most of the plants stay along the sides where the light is softer. Some are small. Some eventually become too large and have to move somewhere else. If I filled every empty space with another pot, I would probably have to crawl through my own garden. Gardeners are very good at creating this problem. The deeper you walk, the quieter the outside seems to become. You can still hear birds, insects, and wind moving through the leaves, but it feels slightly separated. You are outdoors, but you no longer feel completely out in the open. That is probably when this stopped feeling like a vine structure and started feeling like my hidden garden. And toward the back, the space changes again. There is another working area with a large, rough wooden table. Plants sit across the top in different pots. Some are old, some are chipped, and underneath I keep little stools, pieces of wood, and things that were useful enough that I never wanted to throw them away. Someone else might look at this and decide it needs cleaning. I usually know where everything is. Usually. This is where I keep plants I want to watch more closely. Something recovering, something growing strangely, or sometimes just a plant I find interesting. By the time you reach this part, the entrance feels far away. You look up and see vines. You look to either side and see plants. Behind you is the long shaded path you just walked through. For a little while, the rest of the property almost disappears. That is the hidden part. And if you are enjoying seeing this place, give the video a like and consider subscribing. I want this channel to be about simple things around the home and garden that become more useful when you give them a little thought and a little time. And tell me in the comments what you would put inside a place like this. More plants? A little table for coffee? Or maybe nothing at all, just somewhere quiet to sit?